killed another case. I like cold beer, yes I do. I like cold beer, how about you? I turn up when I let loose. I can't help myself. Feel out on Friday night, jumping down in four-wheel drive. Been like this my whole life. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Can't blame nobody else. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Can't blame nobody else. I can't help myself.
Welcome to the press room at the Can't Hack It Pantywaist League Command Center. We are happy to have Press Secretary Baby Yoda with us and his dad/friend Mando this week as our press secretary. I'm not sure what we're doing up there. And it's like, oh, he's got himself like a frog. All right, Baby Yoda, we're doing. Oh, disgusting. All right, it's time for 8 in the Box. For Week 10, our Owner of the Week and Performance of the Week coming off the same team from the same franchise. And this franchise was going up against, at the time, the number 4 team in the league, Team Ramrod, in a must-win match. If they'd have lost, they'd have gone 4-6, basically eliminated. A win puts them at 5-5 in the thick of the playoff hunt, with many other teams tied for those last few wild card spots. Heading into Monday night, they had one player left, and they're down 16. Who are we talking about?
No. Maybe we'll bring it back down the road. There's Jefferson on the sideline for this play. Across the middle, it is Justin Jefferson fighting for extra yard. Cousins throwing for it. Oh, here's 3rd and 11 for Kirk Cousins. Able to complete across the middle. It's Justin Jefferson across midfield. And Jefferson all the way down to the 32-yard line.
That's right, the Jefferson, also known as Sundays of Thunder. And after that Monday night performance there by Justin Jefferson, who put up 17.5 points, he had 8 receptions, 135 yards. Sunday of Thunder ended up 5-5 on the season. They are tied for 6th place and very much still alive and still in the playoff picture. For Move of the Week, we need a little bit more know why. As you'll see here, we have Mr. Clark, the owner of Mac Lives Matter, and there is his brother from another mother, Christian McCaffrey. That's his number 1 pick, his first round pick this year. And as you'll see in the games that Run CMC has played, Mac Lives Matter is 2-1, averaging almost 130 points per game. But before Week 10, there were 6 games he's played without Run CMC on the team, and Mac Lives Matter's 3-3, only averaging 107 points per week in those games. So what did he do? Well, he went out and made a pretty big deal for this guy.
Ronald Jones will get it. Big hole. Jones gets by. Ronald Jones may go all the way. Being chased from behind. Does Jones have enough? Still on his feet. Ronald Jones, 98-yard touchdown.
That's right. He got Ronald Jones right before the trade deadline, who in his first week as a member of the Mac Lives Matter team was the RB4, putting up 24 points. High score of the week goes to an owner that was also the high scorer in Week 1. Now, I might have given him a few more weeks to get back to where he was that week, but he got there, and that is Colby's team, and there is his owner, Mr. Colby Gear. Oddly enough, he's 4 wins on the season. And 50% of the time, he's the high scorer, so putting up big points when he does pull down those victories. All right, CHIPL history this week for you. Again, we're going to talk about some streaks. And this time we're talking about win streaks and the losing streaks. These are the streaks, the longest of both winning and losing streaks per season. You'll see all the way back from 2012 on up. The longest streaks within a regular season is 9 on both sides, oddly enough. Polton in 2012 and Cavazos in 2018 both had 9-game win streaks. And then Mr. Clark and Cavazos in 2019 had 9-game losing streaks. The funny thing about with Cavazos, in 2018, he started the season 9-0. Then the very next season, 2019, he started the season 0-9, owning those 2 streaks. If you look there at the asterisks, there in 2019, for example, you're next to Cotton with his 4-game win streak. He won the final game of 2018, so that 4-game win streak would be 5 straight wins with the rollover. Doom won the first game of the 2018 season, so his 8-game win streak would be 9. Tying the all-time win streak record in the history of Can't Hack the Pantywaist League with Cavazos and Polton. And then Cotton won the final game of 2015, so his 6-game streak of 2016 would be 7. Now, if you flip to the other side, you'll see the same thing with those asterisks. Down in 2014, Clark, with a 9-game lose streak in 2014, finished the season. He lost the first 3 games of 2015 as well, which would make that a 12-game losing streak overall. So that would be our all-time record there. And then he won 1 game and then lost 8 more after that in 2015. So he, not to laugh, sorry, Mr. Clark, but he lost 20 of 21 weeks there over those 2 seasons. And this is our reigning champ, so it didn't take long for him to turn it around. And there you'll see the teams that are in gold that just populated. Those teams won the CHIPL championship, so 14, 15, and 17, the Kirschler, Myers, and Doom franchise. 2016, Cotton ended up taking 2nd place. And then the one oddball in the losing streaks, 2013, Cavazos lost the last 5 games of the season. We talked about this in the previous week, but he was also, he did make the postseason and took 2nd place that season as well. Matchup of the week. This one is kind of an odd one, but we want to try to get to the bottom of what's gone on. Here you'll see a picture of the owner of the Corbett franchise, owner of the Doom franchise. This was back in 2011. Best friends, having a good time, hanging out together. But since then, things have just slowly, they've drifted apart. You'll see here's a picture of them just kind of being total opposite. Cubs fan, Twins fan, visor, ball cap. Here, one's a baseball player, one's a football player. And it got to the point where a recent photo of them, they're just kind of disgusted to even be in the same photo and be around each other. So we dug some digging. We called their representatives, able to get a couple off the record interviews and quotes, and we come to find out the bottom of it all. It's matchups in the Hackett Pantywaist League over the last 9 years. Corbett's won 10 of 13 regular season matchups between the two, and he just lets them hear about it over and over and over again. But oddly enough, even though he has won 10 of 13 regular season matchups, you'll see there the margins of victory, largest and smallest by both owners. If you average all the scores, it's a 4-point differential between the two over the last 9 seasons in the regular season, with Corbett with 107 points per matchup on average and Doom with 103. And then the one non-regular season matchup, the 14th matchup in their history, was in the 2019 quarterfinals, where Doom ended Corbett's season with 118 to 101 victory last year, and that's the only time they've met in the postseason. So that's how the reason for the hatred between these two, and that brings us and catches us up to date to the Week 11 matchup of the 2020 CHIPL season, where you have Doom's daddy, which I think is a warranted name, but sitting at the number 9 seed. Now he is tied at 5-5 with 5 other teams, so technically in the 6th seed, but tiebreaker right now puts him at the 9 seed, and he is in visiting, going to the home of Doom, Doomsday, who is the number 4 seed right now at 6-4. I would call this a must-win, but I'll call for both teams, as like we said, Doomsday needs to win to keep that 500 or better record and to stay up with all the other teams that are going to be moving up to 6-5, and he's fighting for that tiebreaker position. But the reason it's also a must-win for Doomsday, a loss this week, it puts him at 6-5 and potentially put a 7-way tie from 4th seed on down at the 6-5 record, and then it starts falling into the tiebreakers to see who actually gets into the playoffs and who doesn't, and it's something he just doesn't want to be a part of. A win puts him at 7-4, puts him ahead of that whole big chunk group of other owners, and gives him a little breathing room. So a must win for both, in our opinion, here at the commissioner's office. Doom's daddy's averaging 111 points a week, Doomsday 115. It should be a great matchup, so make sure you set the DVR and you want to tune in for that game this weekend. All right, for the CHIPL Info Center, teams on bye, we have the Bills, the Bears, we have the Giants, and the 49ers. So get those players out of your lineup. And then a little recap here real quickly on our college player rights draft standings and our survivor pool to set those standings. Those are the teams that have been eliminated, and there are other standings. Nothing changed from last week except for the tiebreaker points total, but everybody stayed in the same position. And there are 5 owners that are still fighting for that number 1 draft pick, and they're still surviving the season headed into Week 11. Also, we want to talk about in our info center this week is our magic numbers. We're getting close to the playoffs. McKittle Stitch is in first place. His magic number is 3. So 3 victories are a combination of his victories and Cotton's losses. to equal 3 means he will clinch the regular season title. And then on down, those are the elimination numbers before teams are eliminated from having the chance to win the regular season. The bottom 4 teams cannot take first place, but they can still, well, 2 of them can still make the playoffs. Everybody else in the playoff picture, just those are elimination numbers from winning the regular season. But here's the wild card magic number, starting with the 5 and 5 teams that are tied to that 8 seed, obviously the 6 seed on down, but with that 8 seed, those 3 that are in it, Michael's team, Bud Wilborn's team, and Hayden Arnold, their magic number is 4 to clinch. Elimination number, the other 2 5 and 5 teams, their elimination number is 4 to be eliminated from clinching. Tom from MySpace and Colby's team, elimination is 3, so the window is still open. Mathematically, the bottom 2 teams, their elimination number is 1, so mathematically they're not eliminated, but because of head-to-head matchups, there's impossible for them not to have a team above them at least win 1 more game. So they are eliminated officially from the postseason. I don't think it's a big shock to them, nor to anybody else, as they right now are fighting for lottery balls and who's going to have the best draft position next year. All right, but speaking of playoffs, here's our playoff picture going into Week 10, and let's get over the playoff picture, what it is after Week 10. Akil Stitch is sticking in that number 1 spot, and you'll see that Sports Illustrated is sitting in that 2 spot. Number 3 and 4 swap is Doomsday and Team Ramrod. Same record. The tiebreaker goes to Team Ramrod. 5 spot, Mac Lives Matter moves up, and the 6th spot, Michael's team moves up. 7th spot, Bud Wilborn drops from the 5 to the 7, and Hayden Arnold drops from the 6 to the 8. Again, most of these teams, those bottom 3 teams, 6, 7, 8, all 5 and 5. And so are the 9 and 10 seeds. That is the Corbett football team, Doom's Daddy, and Sundays of Thunder. Both 5 and 5, just losing the tiebreaker as of right now. Again, total points scored there. Teams that have made the playoffs with certain records, 8 and 2, 5 to 6 teams in CHIPL history have made it. The 2012 Fulton team is the only team to ever be 8 and 2 and not make it. Then the next season, he is the only team to ever be 7 and 3 and not make it. 8 of 9 teams have done that. Sorry, Fulton, not picking on you. You're just the exception to all the rules, it seems like. 6 and 4 teams, 15 of 19 teams have made it, and at 5 and 5, 6 of 16 teams have made it overall. Strength of schedule, this is interesting. So Colby's team and Tom from MySpace.com, they're the 2 outsiders looking in at that 4 and 6 record. Still have hope, just need to take care of their business. They have the toughest remaining schedule, so they're really going to earn it if they get there. Hayden Arnold at 8 seed has the next toughest schedule. Michael's team, the 6 seed, all facing opponents with an overall record of 600 or better, so they really have a hill to climb, but they can do it, and they kind of control their destiny there. At least Hayden Arnold and Michael's team do. Sundays of Thunder is on the outside looking in at that 10 seed, tied for the 6 seed on down. They have the easiest remaining schedule, so that's a good sign for them if they can take care of their own business, and then they just got to hope some other teams are taking care of it as well to get into the postseason picture. 3 weeks left in the regular season, folks. All right, well, again, we want to thank you for joining us for In the Box. Baby Yoda, thank you. What are we doing now here, Baby Yoda? What is that? Is that a frog egg? Is that an unborn frog? What are we doing? Oh, Baby Yoda, we can't. You're going to get us canceled. Oh, we got to go.